And your book, The Khalistan Conspiracy, it reads like a novel. I couldn't put the book down, and it's very disturbing, if I may say. You know, what happens, sir, is that we've been seeing this resurgence, if I may term it, with the whole Amritpal episode. And then we saw that float in which, in Brampton, people I've met, sir, who always wonder that ऐसा क्यों होता है कि डायस्पोरा में खालिस्तान resonates more than probably in India. And even in India, it could be just pockets where people talk about Khalistan. It's really not such a big issue in India. But you see in Toronto, you go to Vancouver, you go to Yuba City, they still talk about it. They still talk about Khalistan. That abhi hone wala hai. And so, you know, it's necessary to read this book and listen into this podcast because you have visited these places so many times as part of your work. And in this book, you detail everything. So let's begin with the conversation, sir.
It's my pleasure to be here to talk to you about my book, The Khalistan Conspiracy. I hope I will be able to clear quite a few of your doubts which have been created maybe through interaction with some people who didn't know the reality.
Right, sir. So the first and foremost is the whole thing about being a conspiracy. Reading through the book, it becomes obvious that, you know, my generation, which has seen Blue Star up front, when I was reading about your experience, you know, in living in Chanakyapuri at that time, in Satyamarg, and you all that, we will come to that bit later. But it was like, you know, going through that all over again. So if I felt like that when I wasn't a victim, when my family wasn't a victim, when my near and dear ones weren't victims, we were watching it from the outside. But if it shook me so much, I can well imagine how disturbing it must be for people who's seeing all this all over again, seeds of it maybe, or remnants of it probably. So let's get on to the conspiracy part. For those who don't know, there is something that Sidhu Saab mentions, which is Op 1 and Op 2. And I'm going to keep reading out portions from your book. The scary part about this Op 1 and Op 2, of course, the preface has a lot of it. I'm not going to go there. You say that you name it Operation Bhindranwale Khalistan. And in this, you say that it was initiated and managed by some senior and influential Congress leaders operating from Prime Minister's residential office in 1 Akbar Road, New Delhi. Normally, no records are kept of such operations, and everything is decided verbally. However, as that operation had some external ramifications, the R&AW, which is the Research and Analysis Wing, the external intelligence wing, so those who don't know what RAW stands for, it's the external intelligence wing, it became involved in one form or the other. So does that mean that minutes were kept of this meeting? And for our audiences, you need to tell us who all were part of that 1 Akbar Road meeting.
First of all, let me tell you that writing this book had been a very, very painful experience for me especially, because I have to live through the same thing. For the last so many years I've been nursing all this thing, but then I thought, let me share with the Indian readers as to let them know what happened actually. And I thought the younger generation would not understand if I write the way normal books are written. It is better to write in some sort of an RNAW operation thing.